Hi, this is Janice from Space to Relax, and the video you're about to watch is a replay of a live class I taught on Zoom. These classes are free of charge for everyone to join, so please invite your family and friends. They're suitable for beginners and those of you with more Qigong experience. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. I hope you enjoy the class. Hi everyone, and you're very welcome to today's class. And what we're going to be doing in today's Qigong class is learning a really simple Qigong energy flow perfectly suitable for beginners, but also for those of you with more Qigong experience. And the reason that I wanted to show this to you today is that one of the main aspects or the main problems that happens in our lives, in our day-to-day lives right now with modern day living, is stress. So many of us suffer with stress, which can lead to a number of different things. So the results can be that you feel tired and exhausted, that emotionally you feel drained, you might suffer with anxiety or depression as a result of stress. Also, you may feel like you can't sleep properly at night. And if the stress goes unchecked, then often this can lead to the development of more specific health conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, fibromyalgia, digestive disorders, and the list goes on. So this Qigong flow routine today will hopefully help you to keep your stress levels to a minimum. Okay, so the objective of today, by using this flow routine, is not to be forcing anything, not to be trying to do anything. I want you to have in your mind that you are allowing your body to heal itself, to bring itself back into balance in whatever way it needs to. So you are creating the space and the opportunity for your body to do its natural thing. Because the only thing really that's going on in terms of stress from a Chinese medicine and a Qigong point of view is that the Qi is blocked, or it's not flowing as smoothly as it could be. And that could be on an emotional level, that the emotions become blocked. So there are no unhealthy emotions. If they're expressed in a free-flowing way, they pass through the body and out. But it's when they get blocked and we harbour them that can be detrimental to our health. And also, if our physical Qi becomes blocked, then we can end up with physical symptoms. So all we're looking to do today is not forcing, not trying too hard. We're creating the space to allow our Qi to come back to its natural order. And this is, for those of you in my Space to Relax program of Qigong video lessons, this is lesson 2. So it's a perfect exercise for beginners. It comes right at the beginning of my program. And so for those of you who are members, you might want to go back to that lesson and have a look. So just making yourself comfortable in a standing position if you can. Now, if you feel you need to sit halfway through, then please do, because you always would need to be comfortable and relaxed when you practice Qigong. But for this particular class, you'll get the most benefit out of it if you're standing, and you'll see why in a moment. Now, so just looking down at your feet and checking that they're hip width distance apart, the feet are parallel, and there's a little bend in the knees. The tailbone is tucked under, and I'll show you a little bit more about that in a moment. And the shoulders are nice and relaxed. So just give your arms a little shake out. Check that your shoulders feel as though they're far away from your earlobes. You also want to tuck the chin back towards the throat to create a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Really feel the vertebrae in the back of the neck expand and elongate as though you're being pulled up by a string from the back of your head. And then closing the mouth, bringing a smile to the corners of your mouth and closing your eyes. The tongue rests against the roof of the mouth, with the tip of the tongue resting against the back of the upper teeth. And just breathing. And we're going to begin today with the abdominal breath, as we do for nearly all our Qigong routines, just to bring us into the Qigong state. So the breath is in and out through the nose, unless you've got any problems with a blocked nose because of, say, a sinus infection or a cold. Breathing in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in, feel the belly expand in all directions, forwards, sideways, towards the back, as though you're blowing up an imaginary balloon. And then as you breathe out, feeling the belly shrink. So just drawing the breath a little deeper into the lower abdomen, into this area that we call Dantian. But bearing in mind, the focus of today's class is smooth flow. So watch the breath flowing in and out of your body. In your mind's eye, see it flowing in and out, smooth, soft, and silent. So with abdominal breathing, there should never be any huffing and puffing as you're settling into your practice. Nice and smooth and effortless is what you're looking for. Keep smiling as this relaxes the muscles in your face and helps to dispel any tension you might be holding in the facial muscles, especially in the jaw. And if you want, you might want to just open the mouth for a moment and just wiggle the lower jaw from side to side a little bit, just to relax that jaw muscle. And then closing the mouth again. Each time you breathe out, feel any physical tension in your body soften and relax. And also feel any mental tension in your mind relaxing, feeling as though there's more space in your mind. If you find any distracting mind chatter coming in, please don't be frustrated. Just simply bring your attention back to the smooth flow of your breath. And now gently opening the eyes so that you can see me, and just watch me. Keep going with your abdominal breathing, focusing on that lovely relaxation as you breathe out. I'm going to draw your attention now a little bit more to the Qigong stance. Now, those of you who've been to many of these classes with me before will have done this many, many times, but our focus is a little bit more on the flow of things today, rather than being rigid and thinking that your body needs to be in a very specific position. I'm going to show you the position, but then I want you almost to forget about it and just come back to the breath and this idea of flow and see what happens. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see my posture, but stay facing so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So turning sideways on, I've still got my feet shoulder width distance apart or hip width distance apart. I'm feeling really well grounded. So I'm focusing on my feet, on the soles of my feet right now, just to begin with. So just for now, maybe rock backwards and forwards, just shifting the weight from the balls of the feet to the heels without falling over. This is a great exercise for balance as well, for those of you who want to improve your balance. Just gently rocking backwards and forwards, and then reach a middle point where you feel as though the weight is evenly distributed between the balls of your feet and the heels. And then look at my knees. So you see there's a little bend in them. So you want the knees to be very kind of loose and relaxed. You might want to just gently kind of bounce up and down on the knees. just to feel that lovely softness in the knee joints. So you're not locking out the knees like this. You're actually just having this little bend in the knees, just really allowing your feet, your ankles, your knees, just to take your weight, feeling this support from the earth upwards. And then what I was saying to you earlier there about tucking the pelvis in and forwards. So the tailbone is tucked in. So you're thinking of the tailbone moving down and then coming forward. So as though you're kind of tucking everything in. And as you do that tucking in motion, the pelvis itself moves kind of down and forwards a little bit. At the same time, you're lifting just slightly in the lower abdomen, but trying not to hold any tension in this abdominal area. But as you do that, what you feel is a nice extension and opening in the lower back area. So really practice maybe just moving from that very kind of curved lower back with the pelvis sticking out to tucking it in and feeling how it flattens and opens everything up in the spine, which allows the chi to flow so much more smoothly. This is one of the two areas in Qigong which is really difficult to what's called regulate the Qi flow through it. So we're all about free flow today. So we want the lower back to be nice and open so that the Qi can flow freely through there. So just changing from curved to open, curved to open, and feel the difference. When the lower back is curved, you feel muscular tension in the lower back area. You don't want that. We all, lower back problems are quite common. So we want the lower back to be nice and relaxed. And then the arms are just dropping down by your sides. So nice and loose, shoulders are nice and loose. So there's no kind of pulling the shoulders back and creating any tension there. But at the same time, you don't want to be hunched forwards because again, that's creating tension as well. So just feeling the shoulders moving down away from your earlobes. And then the very important thing that people find very difficult is the second area that's difficult to regulate in terms of chi flow, and that's the back of the neck. So the back of the neck should be, again, nice and open and extended, a bit like the lower back area. And you do that, as I said earlier there at the beginning, to bring yourself into this Qigong stance by tucking the chin back towards the throat. So if you watch what I do now, so most people have the chin or the head too far up, and what you find is that the back of the neck is curved, a bit like you see in the lower back if you're not in the correct position. So what you want to do is draw the chin down, and then you're moving it backwards. So you're drawing it in towards the throat. And if you look at the difference between this and this, you see how the back of my neck elongates, and it's as though I'm being pulled up by a string. So practice that for yourself now. Practice by lifting the chin up and feeling more kind of tension and feeling that as though the bones are kind of more squashed in the back of the neck, and then tucking the chin in and back towards the throat. So you're not dropping the head down. This would be incorrect because you're putting too much stress on the muscles in the back of the neck then. So lifting the head so the chin is parallel with the ground, but you're just tucking it back towards the throat and feeling that openness in the back of the neck. And then your head simply just rests on the rest of your body, just sitting on top of your shoulders. So hopefully now, by looking at me from the side, you can see that I've got softness in the knees, that the pelvis is tucked slightly forwards, creating this openness in the lower back. The shoulders are relaxed. The back of the neck is long with the chin tucked back towards the throat. And I'm looking straight ahead now. So I'm going to turn to face you now, but keep that position if you've been practicing it. And as you're holding that position now, I want you to be aware of any tension that might be there. So often when we try to get ourselves into a position that we're maybe not so familiar with, we try really, really hard, and that kind of constricts all the muscles, and we find that we end up feeling a little bit achy in certain areas, or we feel as though there's some kind of discomfort somewhere. So what I'd like you to do now is just close your eyes, close your mouth, come back to your abdominal breathing. And each time you breathe out now, relax and soften everything. So it's as though everything I've just told you, I want you to forget about it. Forget about all of those different elements I explained. You're in the position, so now just soften into that position. Breathe in and out through your nose. Know that you're in the perfect position for you, for your chi to flow as smoothly and as openly as possible right now. And know that as it's doing this, it's bringing itself back to its natural balance. And as it does this, it's promoting healing within your body, both physical and mental, and also emotional. So you don't have to focus on the specific thing you want to heal. All you need to do is create the space and the opportunity for that to occur. So you're thinking of allowing. So every time you practice Qigong, if you find that things are a little bit tense or tight, keep coming back to this word, allowing. Just soften, allow, create space. And you do that simply by breathing. As you exhale, softening even more. As you become more relaxed now, some of you might be noticing that your body wants to move. So keep your eyes closed if your balance is good, but if you feel you need to keep them open just to keep your balance, that's fine. And just go with the flow and notice that movement. So for me, I'm noticing that my body is swaying backwards and forwards. Some people, I know from my students, they would tell me that they feel as though their body wants to move in a circle in either one direction or the other. So just allowing your body to move and knowing that this is a really great sign that you're relaxed and that your chi is flowing. And this swaying is due to a number of different causes, really. So the first thing is, even though you think you're standing still and your body's not moving, really, you're trying to stay in this Qigong stance, but it's wanting to move. And why is it doing that? So what's happening is your heart is still beating on the inside. The blood is still flowing around your body. Your chi is moving around your body. So you're really feeling the effect of that internal movement that's going on. And you can only really notice that and pay attention to it when you tune in and relax. The second cause of this movement is your breath. So as you're breathing in and out, your abdomen is moving. Your belly is inflating and deflating. And that movement, I find as I inhale, kind of pulls me forward. And as I exhale, my tendency is to go back. Now that's different for everyone again, but that's just what I happen to notice. And that's the breath that's kind of playing a role in that. And then the third cause of this is that some people are especially sensitive to magnetic fields and the magnetic field of the earth. So that's where some of my students would certainly find themselves being pulled quite strongly in one particular direction. And that sensitivity is different for everyone. So they're the three ways in which this movement can arise. But just allow it to happen and enjoy it, and enjoy this relaxation that it brings. Closing the eyes and breathing for a few abdominal breaths. And then gently opening the eyes so you can see me. And what I was going to teach you next was just to do this movement, or allow this movement to happen, this swaying motion, while you actually practice a Qigong exercise. So as I was planning this class today, I thought, okay, we'll do this swaying movement, we'll allow this to happen. And then I'm going to teach the circles exercise, which many of you will have done before, where the arms come out to the sides, up and around and down. And I started doing that as part of my practice, and I was like, no, this doesn't feel quite right at this particular time. I felt I needed to do something else. So I'm going to add in an extra little bit before we move to the circles exercise. So you're swaying nicely now and just enjoying it, smiling, hopefully. And what I'd like you to do now is just follow along with me. If your shoulders and your arms allow it and you're not carrying any injuries, obviously don't be in any pain as you perform any of these movements. So breathing in, backs of the hands come together, up through the midline of the body to heart level. And then breathe out and allow the hands to extend, the arms to extend out to the sides at shoulder level, like you're doing a big yawn or a big stretch. And then breathing in, hands coming towards each other, and then diving back down, back to the hands together. And just here now, just move however you want to. So what I was doing was, I was just kind of really feeling into my shoulders, forwards and back, maybe moving the body from side to side, and just really feeling some lovely movement in the shoulders and the upper back area. Just breathing normally as you do this little movement around the place. So this is very much a kind of freestyle feeling into your body. Notice that you still might be swaying if you're nice and relaxed. And then again, breathing in, breathing out, extending, feeling that lovely stretch across the front of the chest. Breathing in and diving back down through the midline with the hands, dropping the shoulders, and again, just feeling into the shoulder and upper back area, however you feel you need to move. And then breathing in, one more time, breathing out. And I'm still swaying, I'm not sure about you, but if you're nice and relaxed, that would be a great thing to notice. Breathing in and breathing out. And again, just moving into that. You may want to close your eyes just to feel into the neck, the upper back, the shoulders, maybe into the waist and the hips. And then just coming back to your standing position, opening the eyes. I'm still swaying. Some of you may be circling. And now let's move on just to the circles exercise. So don't think too much about getting this circles thing correct. We're going with the flow today, remember? So you're breathing, you're feeling the swaying movement as it's happening. You're allowing the chi to flow. So as we do this circles movement, if your hands, one hand doesn't want to go up as far as the other, or something different is happening that's asymmetrical in your body, that's perfectly fine. Just feel into it. Be very kind of freestyle with what you're doing today. So just bringing one hand on top of the other at hip level, breathing, using your abdominal breath in and out through the nose. Closing the eyes, noticing if there's any swaying happening. And if you've done this exercise before, you might want to keep the eyes closed. But if you haven't done it before and you want to watch me, open the eyes and follow along for the first couple, and then you can close your eyes and see how it feels. So parting the hands now, slowly, palms facing up towards the ceiling, and then turning in the wrists, keeping the elbows fairly close to your sides, palms facing up, lifting, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, and then drawing in chi from the outside as though you're gathering everything in. Make a little upside down shape with your hands here, not touching the hands. Now drawing the elbows down to be parallel and allowing the palms to be parallel as well. Hands coming down through the midline. And then one more time. So the more slowly you perform this exercise, the more you'll experience this lovely relaxed flow. And also maybe notice the chi flow in your hands and your arms. And this can manifest as tingling, as warmth, as the hands feeling a bit more swollen. Just keep going with the circles. Keep breathing. So really being very freestyle now. So just going into whatever kind of almost sloppy movement you feel you need to do. So very kind of relaxed circles. No tension in any of the muscles. No discomfort. Just for a moment, bring your mind to the soles of your feet to keep yourself grounded, feeling the support that the earth is giving you as you perform this lovely flowing routine. And when you complete this circle, just placing one hand on the lower belly, keeping the eyes closed, the other hand directly on top of that. Bring your mind back to your abdominal breath. You may still be swaying. That's perfect. Smiling. And just to seal in all that lovely chi we've been allowing to flow, just rubbing the belly, firstly circling in one direction with the hands, and then change the direction. Bring the palms together in front of you, still with the eyes closed, and rub them until they get really hot. And then placing one palm over each eye, fingers facing up towards the ceiling, feeling the heat from your palms going into your eyes to nourish them, and then flowing through the back of your eyes into your mind to nourish and calm the mind. Give the face a little massage to bring yourself back into the room. And as you do that, gently open the eyes, allowing the hands to drop back down by your side, bringing a smile to the corners of your mouth. And that finishes our lovely Qigong flow practice for today. So hopefully the results of this practice will be that your chi becomes much more open and free-flowing on a physical and on a mental, emotional level. And the results of that you can expect to observe would be that your mind feels much calmer and clearer, a little bit more focused, that your physical body feels a lot softer, a lot more relaxed. And also that maybe later on, that when you go to bed tonight, that you feel as though your sleep is much more peaceful. So I really hope you enjoyed that class today. It's something to bear in mind when you're practicing Qigong movements, to just allow yourself that time to settle into your breathing and feel that lovely swaying motion. And then you can practice all those movements with the swaying going on at the same time, which is allowing for this lovely flow and creating this space for healing to take place. So if you enjoyed this class, then I would encourage you to invite your family and friends to come along. All of these classes are free, but if you would like to donate, then I give half of the proceeds to the staff in the ICU ward in my local hospital. And thank you so much to those of you who've donated so far. I really do appreciate it. The other half of your donations goes towards the upkeep of my website so that I can continue to offer these free classes to you. If you have any questions, please email me. My email is janice@spacetorelax.com, or you can leave a comment in the free Facebook group, which is Space to Relax Free Qigong Group. Also, if you're interested in joining the Space to Relax paid membership program, which takes your Qigong practice to a whole other level, then I'll put the link next to the program in the text when I send out the replay next to this video. So I do hope you enjoyed today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. If you enjoyed this Qigong lesson, then there are 4 things you can do right now. The first thing is to head over to my website, which is spacetorelax.com, and there you'll see that you can join up for a free 3-part video series. The second thing you can do is click the link next to this video to sign up for the live Qigong classes, as I teach these once a week. The third thing you can do is go over to Facebook if you're on Facebook and look for Space to Relax Free Qigong Group. That's my free group where you can post any questions, and please do join the group. And the fourth thing is, if you're watching this video on YouTube, then please hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson and look forward to seeing you in the next video.